Welcome to the podcast. My name's Lyndon and Lizard, and today I'm just going to talk about alcohol. I've gone 5 years without alcohol, and it's really interesting because it's a large part of our culture here in Australia. I'm not sure if it's a huge part of your culture, wherever you are around the world, but there's a lot of pressure on people to consume alcohol, and if you don't, you're made fun of in many areas. It's so deeply rooted in our culture. It's within our language, and I call a lot of that beer bullying in a way because you don't turn up and tell that person to eat carrot sticks and celery sticks with hummus dip, do you? So it's very interesting how it's a one-way street. Now, there's been a big change, if you don't know, in the last, say, 5 or 10 years. And look, I'll congratulate podcasters here and people on social media for the health benefits of basically a lifestyle with less alcohol or no alcohol at all. And in mental health terms, we've seen a bit of a change where young people are even have no alcohol and they're happy to do that. So they're changing cultures in different areas and they're heading towards being healthier and more productive. So it's very, very interesting when you compare that to maybe an elderly group where alcohol might be a part of every day and has been all their life. Now, I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm just providing a baseline here so that we can understand the culture we have and the benefits of a good relationship with alcohol and maybe a not so good relationship, which might end in violence you see on the streets, let alone the impact of relationships and workplaces. Now, out of interest, I think it was a Tim Ferriss podcast maybe 5 years ago where I think he asked Richard Branson what held back productivity in a workplace. And Richard said alcohol for many people. I'll have to find the exact podcast there. So that's very interesting from one of the world's greatest entrepreneurs and a billionaire. So there's a business reference for you there. Now, what I noted was the amount of wasted time. So as soon as someone starts consuming alcohol in a day or at night, everything's wasted. It's just zero productivity. Now, there are some outliers there in different areas, okay, for maybe creativity for a little bit with alcohol, but in general, what I see is thousands of hours per year wasted. Now, the worry for me is the recovery thing when I referred to those athletes before, costing you a few days recovery. If people are consuming alcohol every day, what I've noticed, say, when I was working in the corporate sector, training people, that when they reduced their alcohol consumption, increased their nutritional content and hydration, and obviously exercise, they felt so much better. They had never felt or never understood that feeling that they had lost it, and they didn't realize that they were in a low performance zone. They couldn't describe it, a high performance zone, when they're in a low performance zone. Now, the worry is that alcohol might be a huge factor in waking up in a low performance zone, and there might not be much you can do throughout the day there if you're going to consume alcohol the night before. So it weighs you down like an anchor. So that's quite interesting. I've definitely noticed it. I've noticed a much better, consistent way of life, slightly less agitation as well. And it's definitely less inflammation, obviously, better digestion, better recovery. So I've just personally noted that. What have you noted if you've done any of these experiments where you've reduced your alcohol consumption or you've deleted it completely? I'd be very interested in the comments section. Let me know how you're going there. Now, the interesting one from a cultural standpoint is the person that told me when they stopped consuming alcohol, their phone stopped ringing. So were they real friends or not? Or was it conditional that you had to consume alcohol with them? Now that's really interesting. Another thing I've seen is that you could be in the most beautiful outdoor area watching a sunset, and someone might say, oh, all we need now to make this better is some alcohol. Now I looked at them and I thought, wow, okay, that for me was an unhealthy relationship because you had to be consuming alcohol to enjoy the moment. And in some spectacular areas where I work, it was a little bit cringeworthy to hear that. Yet these people think they're good humans and they think they're smart and better than us. Okay. So it's very interesting to watch this. Yet if you're around some professionals where people have been high level, say in the military that I've worked with, but also in business, they might have a couple of glasses of wine and have some really intelligent conversation that night, but they know that there's a limit to it. There's a famous football saying in Australia, or maybe it's from overseas, but nothing good happens after midnight or 1 a.m. when people are out consuming alcohol, but I'll let you make your mind up whether that's true or not. So, what did you notice? Did your health and productivity decrease without knowing it when consuming alcohol? And did it increase once you reduced your consumption or once you deleted it totally? Were all the hours wasted when you were consuming alcohol and just sat on the couch? That's what I've noticed people do. As soon as they start consuming alcohol, basically they waste thousands of hours per year then. And why would you want to feel worse on your weekends? Were your friends fake friends? And when you stopped consuming alcohol, they just didn't call. So it was conditional on you consuming alcohol with them. Branson's productivity link there, or lack of, was very interesting for me too. And I definitely can see that. Absolutely. I instantly know if you turn up the next day and you don't feel as well, but I'm hardwired like that. And I'm starting to think a lot of people are not, because you have to be reflective to be at a point on a map that is accurate to get to where you want to go. Okay. Otherwise, every moment, as I say, and every minute is a lie. For me, I wouldn't sign off on my highest performance if I was consuming alcohol or lots of alcohol. And I've even noticed a couple of drinks a night, a few nights in a row, can affect you by the time you get to Thursday or Friday. Definitely affect you in a negative way. So that for me may be something I can see. Did you see that? Did you feel that? Or do you notice people that don't notice it at all and they don't really self reflect? It's a very interesting topic. It's a touchy topic in some areas because it's culturally linked to coercive control, I believe. They try and coercively control you or another generation to lower their standards because the other group won't raise theirs. And I do see a lot of people intimidated by people that don't have to consume alcohol. They're very strong. But the next generation coming through is not suffering from that as much. It looks like they are very confident to get up in the morning and go and do some exercise. And that was even noted on the mainstream news here in Australia with regards to Schoolies Week, where people go and celebrate the end of school, and they were getting up, drinking less alcohol and going out and exercising on the beach. So it was quite an interesting observation there from that group of people. Now, the slippery slope also includes other addictions here. And I'm starting to think that if people are consuming alcohol, they might then try and make up for not feeling good with, say, painkiller addictions the next day. I've seen that. I've seen that definitely happen. Then caffeine addictions, then lack of sleep, then junk food or laziness addictions because of us lying around, feeling terrible. So no exercise, negativity addictions, and then general fatigue. So it's a vicious cocktail I see there. And I'm wondering if alcohol is taken out of that equation, whether the other negative health pathways there or addictions would just not turn up. So did you notice that? That's an interesting one. The other coping mechanisms, and that's basically a prescription to go straight downhill, as I say, the negative health curve towards a really bad location. And the doctor might say, hey, what are you doing with your life? One is in excess is not good, alcohol by itself, but you put all the others into it, and all of a sudden, look, it could even be linked to road rage, people spiraling out of relationships and being just having a meltdown at work or in life. It's definitely not what you would prescribe for calmness and peace, let alone high performance as an athlete. But I'm going to pull it up there. These are just some of the experiments I've run and some of the observations I've noted over the years from clients and from myself. Take it or leave it, but I just wanted to give you a bit of background of what I do. 5 years of no alcohol, and it's been good. I've definitely noticed the difference. It's been a positive change for me, absolutely. I believe I have better health and productivity from doing that, and I didn't consume much alcohol anyway. If you've completed some of these experiments, please let me know. And if you've seen other people complete these experiments, let me know how they went. And obviously, this isn't a prescription. Before you participate in anything mentally or physically, go to your doctor to gain a clearance. But thanks for listening. I'll finish up here, and I wish you all the best in life. Thank you.